So welcome here, round 6 of the Summer of Surf. Well, I call the Summer of Surf, but more like the Winter of Surf today, coming from chilly Torquay Beach in Victoria. Kurt Hansen, Josh Minogue joining me in the commentary booth. And Josh, a proud tradition coming down here to the Jim Wall Memorial at Torquay. We do it every year and we're back again.
Yeah, that's it. It's the oldest running Ironman race in the country. It's been going since 1962. So there's a lot of history down here in the south, and we're for a great day of racing, Kurt. A few events we haven't really seen before.
Yeah, and certainly as well, a different format today. A lot more fun, obviously, but mixed with that fun is a lot of seriousness. Surf Ironman qualifying series for both the men and women on today as well.
Yeah, it starts to get real at this point. We're into the third round of the Surf Ironman qualifying series, and the guys will really be looking for results at this point. We'll start to see the picture really come together on who's going to make their push for that professional series later in the summer.
So a dual battle here today, not only for spots in that Summer of Surf final at Newport on March 1, but also for that Nutrigrain series next summer. And we start it right now with the final of the Open Ironwoman, and much different to a normal Open Ironwoman race that we've seen here at the Summer of Surf. It's a one-in, all-in, so a lot more competitors all in this straight final, and also a longer course as we look at the start list. That's
right, Kurt. There's normally 16 in a final, but because of the length of the race today, we go to a straight final, and there looks like there's 19 girls in here, and starting off with the former local girl, Harriet Brown. And as we head down the list, a good quality field here today. The Northern sisters there from Mooloolaba, Tian Raymond, another one of the Mooloolaba girls, Georgia Miller from Newport, Lara Moses from Newport. We're in for a red-hot race here.
Yeah, I guess the one thing with this format as well, it almost mimics that Pro Series format. A lot longer race, and obviously the M-shaped course, so probably favours the girls that are already in the series, but a great trial and a test for the girls looking to make it into the series as we get underway. And here we go, this run start. Just important to stay out of trouble here early on, and you can see already Georgia Miller off to a flyer, and right next to her in the black cap, it looks like Tara Coleman.
Yeah, and that's Kira Kinsey. She's another one of the local girls in the green cap there. And there was a little bit of push and shove at the start there, Kurt. There's a long run, 150 metres to start. They'll head out and grab the skis out to the M-shaped course, have to return to the beach twice. So it's gonna work in the favour of the endurance girls here, but also the ones that have got the skills, because going in and out of the break, those little mistakes, they'll cost you at the end of the day over a 45-minute race.
Yeah, these girls, and obviously we'll see in the Ironman as well, you get so used to racing just that 10-15 minute race, and all of a sudden it's going to be a lot further, and it's really those mistakes that are just going to get magnified, and you can really open up a big lead if you do everything right.
That's it. And as we see here, Kurt, another little difference, we're going in the reverse direction down south. Just because of the way the beach sits and the course sits, the girls will be going right to left on your screen there. As we have a look, it's Georgia Miller there on the white and pink ski, as we ride on with Tara Coleman, who's just off to her right-hand side. These girls have had a good professional series, or Tara's had a good professional series. She'll be looking for a good result here, and I think that's Maddie Dunn at the top in the purple, Amy Northern there in the multicoloured ski, Georgia Miller, and it looks like Harriet Brown at the bottom of your screen there in the yellow. So these professional girls, the ones who've been top of these racing in the past, they're the ones that have got to the front early and look to be doing the best.
Yeah, and obviously as we see the girls make their way out in this opening ski leg, just trying to explain the difference between the Summer of Surf and the Surf Ironman qualifying series as well. Obviously our Summer of Surf, we're going all the way through to that final on March 1 at Newport, but within the Summer of Surf, for those at home or those that don't follow the sport as closely as the clubbies do, we have the Ironman qualifying series, and this is round 3 of that qualifying series, and you add up and try and make it into that Nutrigrain series for next year.
Yeah, that's it. You take your top 4 results from 7 of the Summer of Surf carnivals. You take your top 4 results, they add up, and the top 4 guys will end up with a professional start next year in the Kellogg's Nutrigrain Ironman and Ironwoman series. So these girls are battling it out and there's a bit of push and shove going. Look how close they are going around that can. That's Tara Coleman and Georgia Miller as they all get caught up. They're going around that one can out there, that orange can, and it's just so tough to get your paddle in the water, and this will give the front markers an opportunity to skip away if they're good enough.
Yeah, we don't normally see this at a regular Summer of Surf event, that complete 180 turn, and it's just it's so hard to negotiate, and we saw there Tara Coleman and George Miller going stroke for stroke, but on the way back now looks like Coleman's got a little bit of clear water and she can finally open those shoulders up and have a go.
Yeah, that's it. She's gone from about 4th or 5th there back to 9th. So as we look at the girls, that looks like Harriet Brown on the right on the yellow ski and Maddie Dunn as we're back watching Tara Coleman push down a few runners, but it looks like Harriet and Maddie Dunn on the purple, they've pushed down a runner and they've taken that full advantage of skipping away away at that turn, staying out of trouble. That speaks a lot about getting a good start and making sure that all the trouble's behind you as we see the girls start to push down waves.
Yeah, some waves coming here for the back markers, but we can see just at the front, these two girls coming down. Harriet Brown, she must love it down here, obviously born and bred at Ocean Grove, just down the road. She's a Victorian through and through. She's been on the Gold Coast now for a number of years, but just that condition coming down, and mostly, and we'll talk about it all day long, but just these conditions, it's not the waves that hurt you here, it's the cold. And these girls and guys, they live on the Gold Coast, they live on the Sunshine Coast. They're not used to racing in 15-degree water. They're used to racing in 20, 25-degree water.
Yeah, and that'll play out towards the end. Harriet's the defending champion, and as she gets further into this race and the cold starts to take effect and the wind starts to take effect, we can see that flag really blowing in the wind there. That's when she'll come into her own. She's used to it. She grew up with it. Although she's been on the Gold Coast, she'll be better at it than most of these girls. So wait till the end of the race when it'll really take effect for most of the girls. As we see, that's Kirsty Higginson there. I think Danielle McKenzie, Carly Northern and Tara Coleman on the green and red ski. They're chasing hard, these front markers, and it looks like the front two have skipped away, but these girls are going to look to work together, try and bring them back in, but there's a long way to go here, Kurt.
Yeah, on board with Carly Northern, currently in 7th spot. She's had such a brilliant summer of surf series so far, but now we're into this Surf Ironwoman qualifying series, and some of the stars come back from the Pro Series. And just talk us through as well, Josh, double dipping. You're in the series, and much like the Pro Surfing Tour, if you're on that cusp of missing out, you'll dip into the qualifying series to assure that you get an automatic qualification if you're not having a good summer in the professional series itself.
Yeah, that's it. The likes of Tara Coleman that sit on the edge every year, she goes back, races that qualifying series, makes sure she's got herself a start in next year's professional series. Then she doesn't have to worry about going to those professional races and re-qualifying. As the girls, it looks like Amy Northern's tacked onto the back of Maddie Dunn and Harriet Brown there. Amy Northern, she's in another one of those girls. She's in the professional series, sitting on the edge in 8th, 10th, 12th place. She'll make sure she comes back here, gets a good result, make sure she's got a spot for next year, and then when it comes to those Kellogg races, it's all about going as hard as you can and doing as well as you can. And we're on board here with our Summer of Surf Ironwoman leader here, Carly Northern. She's got a huge gap at the moment, 30 points from Jordan Mercer. So she's been one of the stars of the summer so far. She's been a real find.
Yeah, I think the one thing that won't be in her favour, though, is that she's just used to doing those shorter races weekend in, weekend out, whereas some of the leaders, some of these girls that we haven't seen too much of in the Summer of Surf so far, obviously the likes of Maddie Dunn, we can see here left her screen on that purple ski. She's been a brilliant sensation the last few summers, a former junior champ, obviously came through the ranks, was raised up there on the Sunshine Coast, formerly at Caloundra, then went to Mooloolaba, and then made the move this year down to the Gold Coast and has really taken it up another notch. And then here we go, Kirsty Higginson. We've seen what a tremendous ski paddler she is, obviously in the Australian junior kayak team as well, and definitely a star of the future. And she's done almost the reverse, started down the south coast at Warilla, and much like Ali Day and those guys, Hayden White in the men's, has gone up to the sunny coast, and she's going from strength to strength up there.
Yeah, both of these girls have had breakout years in the last few years. Kirsty made her first start in the professional series and won the opening round of the qualifying series. Maddie Dunn, she's a star of the future, and she's putting on a show here. As we see the girls, they're in the race for 5th. That looks like Danielle McKenzie at the top, Tara Coleman in the green and red as Amy Northern jogs up the beach. They're in for another big run here today, and this is another difference to the normal racing. These longer runs, they're going to come into play at the end of the race. The girls are used to going 50 or 60 metres. This one's 150 metres as we see Kirsty Higginson's really trying to break away from Maddie Dunn there. Amy Northern, Harriet Brown, Georgia Miller's hung in there after a good ski leg. So this is so different to what we're used to, and it's throwing up a different one or two, but yeah, the same girls we normally see. The good Iron women are out in front doing it the way they know how.
Yeah, good to see Laura McGlone in there as Northcliffe as well. Maddie Dunn, you can see her on screen right now. She won her first ever Pro Series race last summer at Surfers Paradise, and that was just remarkable to do that in her first year as a rookie. So she's her second year into the Pro Series and looking to just continue a great form.
It's great work there from Kirsty Higginson. That's great waiting for all the kids at home. She got her knees up and out of the water, waited as far as she can, and that's already made up 10 metres difference on Maddie Dunn, who probably doesn't have the same length of legs as she does. She got those legs up out of the water. It's so much easier if you can get your feet and knees out of the water, and she's broken away here and is doing all the right things. It's those little things that make the little gaps, and those little gaps turn into waves, and they turn into wins.
Well, it's just so hard though, and you see they've almost come to a standstill, some of these girls. Just that push on the legs, that extra run leg, and right now the legs are burning. It's one of the hardest things to do, is trying to get those legs pumping, get them out of the water, get that weighting going. You just want to get into that swim as quick as you can, but you can't start swimming in knee-deep water.
Oh, I know, and it's one of the hardest things to do. As we see the girls, they all just run into that white water area. They stop, start duck diving. Those ones who can keep the momentum up, keep it going, that'll make all the difference in the end. And as we head into this swim, this is where the swimmers are going to come into play. They'll be sitting back a little bit. The Georgia Millers, the Carly Nerthans, the Laura McGlones, they'll try and make their move, catch up on Maddie Dunn and Kirsty Higginson, who are noted craft competitors. So they're going to try and make their move here because they know if these two girls can get away, then it's all over Red Rover in that final board leg.
Yeah, and also I guess the cold water really plays a part when you're in this swim leg because your whole body's in the water, you're immersed in the stuff, and all of a sudden it's taking your breath away as the crowd looks on here as well, and it shortens your breath. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, it does. We see the girls with the caps on. That's to keep their head warm. That's to keep the body temperature up, and that looks like still Maddie Dunn and Kirsty Higginson out in front, but these girls are coming at them hard as wave starts to pick up. That's the Northcliffe cap there of Laura McGlone, the white cap with a maroon star. There's a few in there. Tara Coleman's in there in the black, but I think that's Carly Nerthen who's picked one up.
Yeah, great wave. Look at this body surfing. Looks like Carly Nerthen. Look at this streamline. Great shots as well. So left of screen, Laura McGlone in that maroon star, the Northcliffe cap. Looks like the girls have picked it up broken as well. Kirsty Higginson's on board there as well. And also Maddie Dunn's up and waiting already.
Harriet Brown as well. So they're all in there. All the big names are at the front here. And that, as we said, the swimmers have come to the fore. Your Harriets, your Laura McGlones, Carly Nerthens. They did a lot of hard work and they were rewarded there with the swim as more girls are getting waves.
Yeah, I was just going to say, some great waves from behind. They really, just what the doctor ordered for these girls, they need to catch up here. And it's just so competitive at this level. And this is what I love when the SIQS races really come to town here at the Summer of Surf. The pace goes up, the quality of the field goes up, and right now you can just tell that tension's right on the line.
Yeah, the big one who suffered in that one's Tara Coleman. She went in third and she's come out in about 8th or 10th there. Tian Raymond's gone past her, another one of the professional athletes, but it's Carly Nerthen in that white cap with the pink spot on it there. She's looking to get out in front, and although Harriet's probably a better swimmer than her, she's not taking any chances. She knows the best place to be is out in front, clean water, and get going.
Yeah, looks like Eliza Smith with a bit of work to do there as well. Lara Moses of Newport. It was really weird seeing those girls go out there, and they were all like, they weren't going single file. They're almost just a straight line across. No one really wanting to sit on each other's wash. So quite interesting to see the tactics there. It'll be interesting to see if they start to string out. Still pretty tightly bunched, but not really, anyone really taking the lead at the moment. They're all willing to do their own work. They want to do the hard yards.
Yeah, that's it. And it's an inexperienced group as well. There are a lot of young girls, and Harriet's probably the most experienced out of all of them. They're all probably waiting back to see someone else make the move, and this is the situation where guys with more experience, they'll go to the front, they'll take control, and that's what good Ironmen do and Ironwomen do. So as we speak, it's Harriet gone to the front from Carly Nerthen. Harriet's in the white cap. She's probably had the most races out of all these girls, and she knows it's the right time to move to the front and really take this race by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, I guess we'll speak about it as well, but what we see so much in these longer races, you see a lot more cat and mouse. Obviously, the shorter races, you don't have time to mess around in a 10, 15-minute race. But here in these longer races, that you don't want to burn all your energy at the start. You want to hang in there and pace yourself. And that's when we see in the Pro Series races, the likes of Shannon Eckstein, his ability to go to the front and then ease up and recover and just not let the guys back into it, but just keep it alive, keep it ticking over, not killing himself. You can't win the race in the first 5 minutes, but you can certainly lose it.
Yeah, that's it. And he works on efficiency and technique and all these terms you hear about it. It's about using the least possible amount of energy to go the quickest you can, and that's what these girls will be trying to do out in front, because they know the race isn't won here, but the race can be lost here. It's by going too hard, by having terrible technique. These guys will work, concentrate, try and relax, drop the heart rate, and make sure they do all the right things for when the race really starts to get going in this board leg. As we see them coming into the break, it's still a big pack. It's a race in 6 or 7 here. It's anyone's race, especially heading into that board leg. Harriet's a noted board paddler. Kirsty Higginson's won one of these races before thanks to her board leg. Maddie Dunn's won Australian board relay titles thanks to hers. Carly Nerthen's leading the Summer of Surf board race at the moment.
So the girls making their way back to shore, and this will be 2/3 of the race down. And we spoke about this cat and mouse battle, and just getting away ever so slightly. Harriet Brown just in front and making some duck dives, and then she looks behind to see a few more on this wave. So a race in 2. Laura McGlone there of Northcliffe's picked up that wave as well. So closest to screen here, great on wave shots with Harriet Brown. She just takes 1 breath, 2, and still streamline. She's the tallest girl in surf sports. But it looks like it's going to be Laura McGlone, and one of the youngsters who's desperate. Gee, if she could get a win today, that'd catapult her right up the rankings. Then the battle at the moment for third spot. Carly Nerthen right in there. Maddie Dunn there as well. Amy Nerthen just off the pace ever so slightly, and Kirsty Higginson right there as well. So they come through this transition, and I think they really favour Harriet Brown. She's got a smile on her face, Josh. She's really enjoying her racing down here.
Yeah, she loves coming back to where it all began. She's the defending Gym Wall Ironwoman champion, and she's showing us today why she enjoys coming back here so much. As we see the girls coming through, Laura McGlone's gone to the front, and that's where she needs to be. Not the strongest board paddler in the field, so she's going to try and get off the beach quick, play catch me if you can with the other girls, and make them go round her as she heads out to the back of the break. But these girls have got a small gap, Kurt. I don't know if it's enough at this point, but there's definitely an opportunity here if they're good enough.
Yeah, certainly that wave made a little bit of a difference and opened it up on the chase pack. But my goodness, Harriet Brown, she's one of the best board paddlers in the business. We're on board with her currently in first spot, and this is the final leg here in our round 6 Summer of Surf from Torquay. She's one of the tallest girls, or she is the tallest girl in the open women's competition. 6'2", she's got huge arms, long legs as well. And here's the chase pack. Maddie Dunn and Carly Nerthen, they're really going to have to push now. This is the bell lap. This is time. It's time to fire her up.
Yeah, we can already see Harriet's made a small break on Laura as Maddie Dunn and Carly Nerthen chase after with Kirsty Higginson, another sort of 2 board lengths behind. Amy Nerthen's after her. So these girls, that one little wave made such a difference here, and they're really going to have to work hard. Harriet's in the box seat. This is her race at this point. It's her race to lose, but these girls aren't too far behind as we see Tian Raymond's worked her way through the field. She was a long way behind after that opening ski leg. Back to Tara Coleman on the traditional Souths green and red ski there. She loves it. Her old man was a great legend of the club, and she carries that with her. She's already still celebrating from the grand final win. But back to Harriet, she's doing all the right things out in front.
Yeah, just take a look at this gap that obviously Brown has opened up now on McGlone. She's really put the head down and probably has the luxury. When you're in front, you're not thinking about wash riding, and obviously in most sports, when you're in front, it doesn't hurt as bad, does it?
No, it's so much easier to be out in front. As we look at Eliza Smith and Georgia Miller there in the yellow cap. These are girls that are really desperate for a good result here in the qualifying series, and they're sitting in 8th, 9th, 10th as we're back on board with our leader, and she seems to be turning that can easily. She'll take a quick look back at where those other girls are, set herself and go again, Kurt.
Yeah, just look how she put her left arm in the water there just to steer it around. And really these turns, they're complete 180 turns, what we're normally not used to seeing here. Also the reverse course, so really test the skills of these competitors. But look at the battle behind, and Laura McGlone under serious siege now. The girls starting to close them in, and Carly Nerthen, well, that name that we've said so many times over this Summer of Surf, she wants to stand up and be counted with the biggest stars in the sport.
Oh, that's it. She got the win in the last qualifying series round just over Jordan Mercer in the narrowest of margins, and she'll be desperate for another result here. You get a couple of good results early, and the pressure's on everyone else, but there's no pressure on Harriet Brown at the moment. She's out in front, and she seems like she lifts the rating there onto the wave, cruises for a while, goes again, then she goes down. She's working these runners so well the whole way in, and she's really making the most of this being out in front and using her own ocean, her own waves, and she's put a massive gap into the rest of the field.
Yeah, look at her, just keeping that head down, chasing the runners the whole way. We saw her on board with the camera before, but she sat up a little bit. It's okay to sit up when you're on a runner. It's not okay to sit up when you aren't. It just gives that little bit of rest, and now she gets up and uses these long legs, 6'2". She's the tallest in the business, and really these conditions suiting her to a T at the moment. And Laura McGlone, she's done a great job here in second spot from Northcliffe to hang on. A little wave out the back and a nice little jag here. It looks like Maddie Dunn there, Carly Nerthen in the middle, and Kirsty Higginson are right trying to hunt Laura McGlone down now. And all these points so important in the SIQS standings. Amy Nerthen just behind this group of 3 girls. And really now it's time to go, whatever you've got left in the tank.
Oh, that's it. There's no time for waiting now, no games, nothing, as we see more girls getting waves from out the back. So this little break's starting to come into play. It'll definitely affect the rest of the races and the men's race coming up, but it's not affecting Harriet Brown. She's out in front, doing a great job. Look how close she gets down, her chest right on that board, so her arms can get into the water as deep as possible. As those waves come, she just lifts up a little bit, lets the board ride up and over it. And this is board paddling technique here. This is what you want to be doing as we look back. Amy Nerthen, she's struggling. She's down on her belly. So are some of the other girls. And that pack's already caught Laura McGlone there. It looks like Kirsty Higginson. She's on the pink nose with green and white board out in front. And she's just got her head down and she's going for it. She knows one more good result and she's almost in this series as Harriet Brown. She's got no problems with qualifying and it's showing out in front. There's no pressure on her.
No, of course, runner-up in the Australian Ironwoman title last year, and now really looking to take it up just that one notch higher, and she's really in some fantastic form. She's in career best form, and she just wants to cash in on what's been a fantastic summer so far for her, and looking to go back-to-back with some brilliant performances. And we've had so much fun with Harriet when she's been here at the Summer of Surf. We haven't seen too much of her so far. She's only done a handful, but we're going to see plenty more as we start to head towards the state and the Aussie titles.
Yeah, she's looking a little bit desperate here, just making sure there's a few girls starting to come down a wave here. I think that's Kirsty Higginson. So she's got a wave here. Harriet, and it's just filled up on her. So a little scare at the end there for Harriet, but yeah, this one will bring her home, and she's going to be our gym world champion here today, Kurt.
Oh, look at Higginson still trying to push. She looks back, a little bit of a smile on her face. She's going to be so hard to beat in the run at the beach because she can get off halfway in. Her legs are so long, but up she gets now. Higginson, what a final board leg by her. That was outstanding. She's blown away the opposition, so looks like Harriet. Look at this battle for third. They're all here now. Maddie Dunn closest to screen. Carly Nerthen. Laura McGlone looking to hang on. Amy Nerthen up and running. Maddie Dunn putting in the hard yards. Amy Nerthen as well. And here we go, but the winner, no doubting, Harriet Brown. She deserves it. All smiles in front of her hometown fans, formerly from Ocean Grove. And she's going to be really happy with that victory. Look at the battle on here for the minors. Kirsty Higginson taking second. Maddie Dunn there with a great battle with Amy Nerthen. So Dunn will take third, Amy Nerthen fourth, Carly Nerthen in fifth. No doubting our winner. Back-to-back here at Torquay, Harriet Brown. Oh, she has the right to be tied. It was a long and grueling race, but very happy returns home for Harriet Brown, of course, formerly from Ocean Grove. Delivers the goods here in front of her home crowd. Of course, now at the BMD Northcliffe Club on the Gold Coast, ahead of Kirsty Higginson of Mooloolaba and Maddie Dunn, her BMD Northcliffe teammate, rounding out the top three. Still great to see the Nerthen sisters in there as well, Amy and Carly, in what has been probably the strongest field we've seen so far in the Open Ironwoman here at the Summer of Surf.
We're here with Harriet Brown, who's just won the Gym Wall Ironman. Talk us through the race.
It was a pretty tough race. It started off with ski and it's a long run and it's pretty choppy out there, and on my second ski turn one of the other girls was coming around the inside and I fell off. So after that I was kind of in panic mode, being like, all right, you got to get going and try and catch up there.
And 2 from 2 you won last year. How does it feel winning in your hometown?
Yeah, it's fantastic. There's so many of my friends and family down here and I love racing back in Victoria, and it's so good that this event has grown to so many competitors coming into state, and yeah, it's just fantastic for Victoria and for surf lifesaving as well.
Congratulations, well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, very happy Harriet Brown there taking out this round 6 of the Surf Ironwoman series. Let's take a look at the overall point score after 6 rounds of competition, and still that consistency out in front. Carly Nerthen in a commanding lead there, 192 points. But look at the logjam for second spot. Jordan Mercer just ahead. Tian Raymond, Amy Nerthen, Eliza Smith, and then onto the second page there. Now these are the girls we're going to see a lot more as this summer starts to get to its climax. Danielle McKenzie, Harriet Brown, our winner today. There we go, our Surf Ironwoman qualifying series, and this is the big one. This is what qualifies you for next year's Nutrigrain series, and Harriet Brown on top so far from the BMD Northcliffe Club, and just ahead of Maddie Dunn. Also there in third spot, Kirsty Higginson looking good at the moment, ahead of Carly Nerthen and Georgia Miller. And onto the second page, it's an all-star cast here. Tian Raymond, Jordan Mercer, Emma Dick, and then down to Georgina McDermott and Molly Bainbridge of Mooloolaba.